So it was middle of summer here in Arkansas, 110 degrees. The last thing I was thinking about was shooting mallards, and I get a phone call from my buddy Drew Palmer with Hardcore Waterfowl. And wouldn't you know it, it was a call about a duck hunting project they had in Canada.
So in July, I got a phone call from Josh. It's a funny story. I was actually riding around with my family on the boat at the lake, and Josh calls me and says that they've got a Canada trip booked through Drew Palmer with Hardcore Waterfowl. You know, me being an Arkansas guy, the only thing I've ever hunted is flooded timber. And as soon as he mentioned Canada, the only thing I could think of was dry fields, ducks and geese everywhere. So I was extremely excited to get up there and see what all the hype was about.
So September finally rolls around. I got Blaine and Garrett showing up to my house. We had to load 15, 20 cases of shotgun shells, all of our bags, all of our totes, and we were headed to Oklahoma to pick up James.
Oh. Telling you, little dogs don't seem cool, and once you get a little friend, it's like...
Oh, don't forget the old spec yet.
I got the boots.
I'll get... You want to go 1333? I want to see that.
Your choice.
I'm trying to figure out how to get from Kansas to Alberta, but we'll figure it out one way or another. We got about 14 hours left, so it's going to be a while.
We get about 5 hours of sleep before we make it up to Portal, North Dakota, right where we cross the border. After a full day of driving, about 10 or 11 hours, we finally make it to Alberta.
Got it.
Yeah, it's a little chilly. It's a lot colder than 90 degrees at home, that's for sure. 63, I thought y'all put 63 gallons in.
Oh yeah, I had to prepay $100.
Air essentials. We got water and
Get some deodorant.
yep, some Old Spice. Can't go without that. And more Tums. We're good to go. Honestly, that sounds pretty good. After 40 hours in the car, that's about all I can come up with right now up here.
So that first afternoon that we were there, me and Drew hopped in the truck with Kevin. We were going out to scout for that first morning, and Garrett, James, and Blaine stayed back with the rest of the guys to unload the trailer, to get everything in order, and to prep for that next morning.
Snow's over here. The field that I have permission on is right up here. That's nothing yet. I wouldn't even dare set up on that. But up here this morning was that water. Oh yeah. There's a big pond over there too that I can get permission on pretty damn easy.
When we're out on the scouting trip, I'm used to seeing ducks in rice and beans and in timber. You got rolling hills, agriculture for miles, and then all of a sudden you top a hill and there's just thousands of ducks in one pothole of water. And then you look across the horizon, there's snow geese, lessers, big honkers. I mean, you name it, it's all there.
So there is a little bit of water right there. That's why I just want to make sure they leave that water. If not, we'll have to shoot this in the morning. Because last night they went to big water.
After they were out
After they were out, yeah. So in the morning they might just go to these little potholes around here and get haters.
Boys, I'm on the ground in Houston. Caught my first flight of the day. Took Josh and James and them 25 hours to drive to Alberta. And it's going to take Jackie a hot 5.
Jackson was traveling up, unfortunately, the next day, so we decided to give it a rest and put it on hold for day number 2. So he took us to another third pond that he had permission for. It was caked in ducks, and we decided to make that our target for day number 1.
All right, we just got set up down here. It's our first morning here in Alberta. We got the blind all grassed and everything, got the decoys out. We are getting poured on with ducks already. We got 20 minutes till shooting light. But it should get ugly here in a second. We're excited. It's our first morning, so we'll see how it goes.
It just might be an all morning excursion. It might not just be a slam dunk. Pennies there.
Pennies, yeah. Better somewhere. Give me to whistle him. All right.
Got him! Yeah.
All right, we're wrapping up here. First morning in Alberta. We had a pretty good morning. We finished 35 ducks and a bonus goose. We were kind of fighting no wind, so birds didn't finish quite as good as we liked, so we were out here for a while, but overall we were able to scrap out a few groups. We had singles, doubles coming in. Birds pretty close in the roost, so they were flying over us all morning, but we're gonna go scout this afternoon, try to find them on a field, and hopefully get back on them.
So after a successful hunt on morning number 1, we were raring to go for morning number 2. And Josh and Drew and Kevin had found that really good feed. Jackson was finally in town, so it was time to see what it was all about.
Can't fast too.
We got to the field about 4:30 in the morning. We had to put out 1,500 to 2,000 decoys.
Dude, once that daylight comes up, this spread is going to be incredible. Hey, I just want to have an honest conversation.
Sorry, man.
Blaine lost us the national championship, bottom line. Ooh, if he could have just pitched game 2 as well, we might have won, but he was selfish, and he was just about himself and not about the team, and that's just something that I won't ever get over, but I'll still hunt with him.
Picked up, and they're starting to fly, so he said we don't want them on this vortex or that rig might break. So we're rigging these babies up to fly.
There she goes.
Looks pretty good. When you have the option for a
Pretty
swath,
good. You good enough to go with that?
you make sure you're swathing behind us so it's just level. There's no humps or bumps, it's just smooth. We have the stubble, let's use it.
Pretty good setup. Got like 15 minutes till shooting light. We've hammered them so far, so hopefully the action stays up and we get after them again this morning.
Could be snows. Right from the left side.
Get up!
He's hit.
You swinging back?
Yeah.
Hey, hit white, Now! Nice.
Nice going, boys. Knuckle bellies up front. Nate, give me that goose. I gotta warm my hands up.
This is probably overall one of the coolest hunts I've ever been on. You've got snow geese coming in, specks coming in, we saw a moose, and then all of a sudden, here come the ducks.
Shooting the ducks?
Crank the ducks.
Get him!
These are pintails too. Wait for the back. Wait for the back, flock. Wait. There's one mallard, but wait. Now!
The birds worked like nothing I've ever seen before in my life. They decoyed perfect and the birds were flying in. In Arkansas, it's usually a little tougher. They're a little more weary after being shot at for thousands of miles on the way down here. But in Canada, they're all new birds and they just worked exactly how we wanted them to.
And all the clouds are black as nightfall, but all I see is you.